Good morning, everyone. I'm Hanna Lack from Hotelovate, and we are organizing this webinar series. Now this is the second in the series of the Guest Journey Unlocked. Before Midsummer, we had the Art of Arrival, which was about design and the impact of that for the guest experience throughout the guest journey. And today we are deepening that experience through Storification. And it's great to have Tarinakone here, Anne Kalliomäki, and Ida and Antti Homanen from Arctic Giant, and they will share their story on Storification journey with us today. Previously this year, we also organized the Digitalize Your Business webinar series, which was also about the guest journey unlocked, but from the digital technology point of view. But I welcome you all today, and I let Anne take over and tell us more about what is Storification and how do we design the story-driven experiences.
Yes, thank you, Hanna. And good morning for everyone. And I am so happy that you have all joined this webinar to find out more about how to create these story-driven experiences for your customers in tourism. And we are all joining this digital campfire here today, shared campfire. And please use the chat for questions, and feel free to add questions along the way this webinar. At the end of the webinar, we will be having time for questions and sharing. And so remember to add your own questions and thoughts on the chat. And today we are here together with my client, Arctic Giant, and I have Ida and Antti Homanen from Arctic Giant here with me. Hello, Ida and Antti. I'm so happy that you both could join us.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for...
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
And maybe short intro, couple of sentences. What is Arctic Giant?
Oh, you are asking. You're asking what is Arctic Giant?
I surprised you already.
Yes. So Arctic Giant is a family business, and we are located in a high hilltop in the Kainuu region in eastern Finland. And we have this landscape accommodations here. Also, we have restaurant and activities here. And do you want to say something?
Yeah, basically we have like a family business. My sister and we are like running this whole business. We have these landscape things, like 15 different kind of rooms. So not really big place, but really unique.
Unique resort.
Yeah.
Yes, as we can see from this picture, beautiful view at Eastern Finland. And there is your main building and your birdhouse hotels we can see here over here. So we will be traveling today at this webinar all the way to Eastern Finland to Arctic Giant to find out more about Arctic Giant Storification process. And we work together. Actually, over 10 years ago, I started working with Arctic Giant together with Ida's and Antti's parents first, and then I think it was 5 years after our first core story and story identity manual work that we continued and to work and take that storification even further and how to serve even better the international guests at Arctic Giant. And today our story rules at this webinar, we will have a short intro to Storification, and I will introduce the Arctic Giant story and the Storification that we did together and how it's coming alive in Arctic Giant. And of course, Ida and Antti are the best ones to answer and add details how the story has been used. And so we will be having the possibility to ask questions from Ida and Antti today, and then we will continue to our shared moment where we can also then take your questions and continue our discussion on Storification together. So from my point of view, I have been working as a Storification, story-driven experience design pioneer in Finland already 17 years. I have a background in TV and film, and my passion has been to help companies use this dramatic storytelling that we see in film and theater world in their customer experience strategy, how to turn your customer experience into this story experience. And I think that the storification in tourism is the ultimate tool for differentiation. And I think we should use storification, story-driven experience design much more than we are using it now. So there is a lot of work to do, and a lot of benefits that we can gain from storification. So when we are talking about storification, we are not talking about sharing your own story, your company's history, or something like that. We are talking about creating this core story, engaging core story that we can use to storify basically everything we do, so that it comes this story experience for our customers. So here we can see my fictional boss StorySheep, and StorySheep has some things he wants to share with us. And so when we are using storification, the benefits of storification, of course, is that we can stand out from the sea of sameness and this flock of sheeps who are all doing the same thing. So when we are using story, we really have this kind of maybe somehow heart-based kind of a lot of emotions and this kind of magic in our doing. And also we have this kind of common red thread for our customers to follow when they are joining our customer journey, starting from marketing and then to when they arrive at our place and when they leave, and we can create this storyline that follows from begin, middle to end. And let's see, I need to put that one off. Sorry for that one. Yes. So that is what we are doing. And the common red thread is not only for our customers, it is also for ourselves. So we can lead from the story that makes us everyday doing easier. And storification also has a lot to do with customer senses. So we need to create this story that becomes alive in everything we do, also for customers' senses. And what is core story? So core story is written on A4 page, so it's only one page story, and it has this fiction and dramatization in it. So it is both facts, but also dramatization and fiction, so that it is engaging enough. And now we can go and see the Arctic Giant and how does it work? What happened when we started using storification at Arctic Giant? So we started from the core story as we need to first find out the core story. In creating core story, we are using the method of story tree that I have created and used in already hundreds of projects. So it kind of helps us to find the right story elements for our core story, and also we need to be very careful that the story is not just any story. It needs to be a story that ties into our business strategy as well, very much so. So we need to be very careful when we are choosing our story elements that it's really linked into our values and what we are offering to our customers and what is also the business side of the things. So here we see a little bit of fact about Arctic Giant core story. So when you are creating this core story, it's good to have a piece of truth in it, although you are using this fiction and dramatization. And that's what we have in Arctic Giant core story. There is this true fact that there is not only these fictional giants living in this area, but also it is the place where there have been this, among the 10 tallest men in the world, there has been like 3 from this area. So that's good to remember when you are creating core story for your company, that you should have authenticity and also facts included in your core story, but don't forget to use also dramatization and fiction when you want to make your story engaging for your customers. So let's see what kind of a core story we have at Arctic Giant, and here is the story trailer that was done for the Arctic Giant.
Ages ago, ancestors of giants wandered around Kainuu, building castles of rock. Together they built a massive structure that is also known as Paha-Loos. Its ruins can be found in the forest even today. Then humans came with their noisy celebrations and fast downhill sliding. Giants, lovers of peace and quiet, fled deep inside the forest. Times changed. Humans left their settlements and a magical peace fell upon the hill. We saw the place that humans abandoned as good for us, and I, as the voice of the giants, spoke to a few nature-loving humans. We convinced them to build something new with our counsel. Giants have now started to miss humans. Therefore, this place, with its wonderful birdhouses, is now also yours.
So that was the story of Arctic Giant and the story trailer and kind of introducing the story that we are offering to customers. It's very important when you are doing this kind of story trailer that you are not maybe talking straight from about the products and services, but you are really offering this story and telling the story in that kind of story trailer if you want to do that kind of thing for your company. So I'm sorry that I'm having a bit of trouble with Zoom. So I noticed that I at the start of the video I kind of messed that a bit. I hope you could still see it very well. And let's see, there is a bit of, but let's continue. When we have done the core story, then it's time to create the story identity manual. And that helps us to create the customer's journey into a story. And we are taking the story into details. We are creating these guidelines, how the story becomes alive in our service environment, our service processes, and in our marketing communications. So then it's really time to take the story into practice. And Arctic Giant has used these little bits of story in their marketing in social media and Antti can share us later more about the details, how the story has been used in marketing. Here is a little bit of example of the how we can use this kind of pieces of story also in a video format in our marketing. So there is this little 15-minute video, and then there is this our Arctic giant's friend, this gnome that is kind of the messenger between giants and people. So they're in the video. And so I think it's very important that you can use these different pieces of story along the customer journey and really also have fun with your story, because we are in tourism, we are in this experience economy, so we really should have fun with our story. So service environment into a story, here is a bit about that. How does the service environment in Arctic Giant look? And there are these birdhouse hotels, which is very much part of the story of Arctic Giants.
When looking at the world through the eyes of a giant, you see far and feel alive.
So in the story, we are talking about it that so that the Arctic giants wanted to create these bird nests for their really good friends, birds that are all around the place of Arctic giant. But what happened? Those bird nests became too big for birds. So now those bird nests are used for human friends that are visiting Arctic giant. So that's what's happening here, and those bird nests have been storified. There are elements of which makes them feel even more like this bird nest in a way. How the interior design is done, and all of that. The view from the bird nest makes you feel a bit like you are a bird in this cute and cozy nest, enjoying your time. And here we can see how in the customer journey, when we are talking about our accommodation and even displaying what we are offering to our customers, so we can use this story elements and in naming, how we name our places, our accommodation, our rooms, and also how we are talking about them, writing about them in different channels. So it's very great place to use story and to really stand out and find your perfect customer by using story. And a bit more about the service environment story. Here we have also special sauna experience in Arctic Giant, which is of course a big part of Finnish tourism. But how to make it even more special is to use Storification also there. And here we have the sauna built by Arctic Giants. And of course, in experiences and when thinking tourism, the food is very much important part of the offering, and how to make the food experience even more special is to add some story also in your food experience. And here is a bit of example about the Arctic Giant food experience. See. I take the music off so that because there was some trouble with that, but we can see that we can use this kind of also little pieces of story telling how the food is, how it's served, how it's made. And also there we can add these storification elements. In Arctic Giant food experience, everything is a bit bigger, plates are bigger, and ingredients growing there at the land of the Arctic Giant also bigger. So that is something very important. And then of course you can go and enjoy your food there at the landscape and enjoy the being near the Arctic giants. We have 3 giants living there at the Arctic Giant, but they are so big that they cannot be kind of included in the pictures. So we don't have any visuality done, like visual characters done about this Arctic Giant. They are only living at the Arctic Giant, and we can experience their presence there. And one of the ways their presence is felt is that there is this food experiences that have been inspired by our giants. And here is a great example about how also in the dinner menu we can add these characters and their stories. So we have 3 characters, 3 Arctic giants. Meteli ja tuli in Finnish. Maybe in English it's something like a giant that is making a lot of noise, also likes very much music. And then we have Salamantti, which is a giant that is secretly stupid, let's say. And then there is this Väkiturilas, which is an Arctic giant that is like a very strong and powerful giant. So those are our 3 giants living at Arctic Giant. So, but let's continue and let's see. Yes, I kind of lost for some reason, I had this trouble with Zoom now that I lost Hanna and I lost also myself here at my Zoom, but it doesn't matter. I have Ida, I can still see Ida and Antti here, so we continue. And let's see, there is, of course, so let's ask some questions about Ida and Antti and how are they viewing the process of storification. What do you think, what is most challenging about the storification process?
I think sometimes the challenging part is because we are like building and doing new things here. So sometimes in everyday life, it's just like we don't remember those things. So it's good to remind us to take that storification like for every day. So that's a kind of challenge to just remember, use it in every day. So sometimes when it's busy, it just gets like we forgot that. And sometimes it's I think. Do you have?
I think it's like a good base. That's like a main thing. That we have this storytelling about our giants. This is like a place. This Arctic Giant. We can explain about that. In Finnish translation, jättiläisen maa doesn't mean for the national guests. Doesn't nothing. So that's why we have like a base for the Arctic Giant, the big men's, and the good base we can use it like later. And if I think it's like the worst part is to remember that we started. I think we started this around how many years ago? We started this
over 10 years ago.
It's like 10 years old, and it's like only like a first storytelling about this the big men's. Then we are modified with the one time and put it more about the base, and that's why it's like a base is, I think it's a also the challenging, but also the best thing for the storyline.
Yeah, I think thinking that there is this of course, like doing that base is a lot of work to really that you need to, and of course it's a big decisions to make to really what is the core story, what are we doing, so when we start to work and then continue from that. But it's good what you said that it's every day, how to remember every day every decision to make it to make them from this core story, to keep the story alive. And what has happened, I think, in a beautiful way in recent years, I think you have even more and more now taken storification further at Arctic Giant. Why do you think that the storification is useful? Why is it worth investment? Because of course it costs some money to do the work together with me, and then continuing to create the story world for the customers. Of course, when you need to do those decisions from the story point of view, there is of course some budget needed.
I think it's like you earlier said, it's like we need this red thread. We need this thing, what we are following, why we are buying that kind of lamp, why we are building that kind of fire hut, why we are doing what we are doing. So that's why it's good to have that story like there, so we can, everything is like it's starting to feel real. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's something what we follow. It's like a, how you say, this book, like where we just check what to do.
Yeah, I think the guests, they are coming to our story, and they are like really welcome to this story and change this story, because this is like a living right now. And
but I think it's like a without, if we don't have this like a story here, then we are just like beautiful place which is offering this this accommodations and food. But when we have this story, then it's more than just the food, more than just the view. So then it's like they are part of the guests, they are part of the story, and that's why it's like worth it. And they cannot experience the same thing anywhere else.
and I think it makes like a little bit easier to create like a new products.
Yes.
Like for example, we have like activity services here. So snowshoeing hike, it's not just a snowshoeing hike, it's like a storytelling about the big men's with the snowshoes. That's a really big difference. And I think the story, they are put the paint on the wall or something like that. That's why it's a simple.
Yeah, and I think it's like also to work with like you who is making this storification. So it's like when it's like a professional person who is doing this, they can also like see the like a business view here. So it's what benefits it brings to our business, and how it's like because it's not just a story, it's also need to fit with the business. So yeah. So
what do you think that, yes, that's so good. What do you think that have been the benefits from if thinking about the business side of things? Do you see that it brings you more customers, and customers are maybe engaging more with you and maybe want to come back or something like that?
Yeah, it definitely it will bring them new customers for our place, because we are like the middle of the nowhere here, and but I'm not sure. Yeah, it might work without the storytelling, but I'm I can say it's like the people really love the storytelling and the stories. So I think it's worth.
Yeah, and I think like people, they are in a good mood when they like call me like, we would like to stay in that, what is that like this birdhouse, this, and then they feel like they are already in a good mood, or then they want to especially have this like a giant's dinner. They want to experience this giant's thing. So I think it's like there is benefits and it brings more customers.
Yeah, and I think in story you can also like sell more these experiences included, Arctic, yeah, like these dinners and all the other experiences. So story can be used so that the customer is more engaged and wants to experience even more.
Yeah, and I think it's like for the groups, it works much better because they coming here and to hear this giant, the stories of the giant, stories about how we are here, and like a real giant, and the fiction what we have here. So we are put it all of these together.
Yes, good. Yeah, definitely. And thinking that, of course, the marketing, we were talking about a little bit about how to get new customers. What would you say that, how have you used the story in your marketing and how has it worked?
We have like in our website, we have many things like we are telling them about like in a giant's mouth, how you say, like how I say,
Words of the giant.
words of the giants. Yeah, so we use it on our website, sometimes on a content in social media, and also then in when guests arrive here, then we have here also things like you can example, you can enjoy coffee from in a giant's cup, so it's a big cup, so you can have it and experience how the coffee would taste like in a giant cup, or like this giant plate. So that's also one thing how we use it in marketing, like our dinner and also our food, and like why we are using like wild herbs, because giants still have wild herbs and they get their power from it. So those kind of things.
Yeah, giant super soup. That's
Yeah,
like experience, and that's like a funny story about this super soup. We made it that within the COVID-19, that product, all the restaurants, all the services was closed, but we opened that thing that you can order this giant super soup. It's like it gives you much more power, and that's why it's like the giants are like a big men's, and this our wild herb, this nettle, that gives like extra power and give you the tallness, and it's like that way. But that was like we wanted to serve the restaurant services, and you can take that restaurant deeply into the forest. So that's why we done this Arctic, this giant super soup experience. That's why we have this video and everything. It's made like a really fast. I said my mom that okay, maybe you can do the soup and I take the video camera, and we are heading to the forest, and we wanted to show to people that we have the restaurant services in the forest. The same thing, but it's a really different product.
Yes, really good. And thinking, of course, I think the good elements, and thinking that when you have the core story, it's the same with what comes when you are creating these experiences, that then you have some kind of like storyline to follow also in your marketing, and you can create things from the story, and I think it's very important in today's world to how you get your customers' attention and how you also create something that is meaningful and maybe even transformative for your customers. I think the maybe giant super soup is something like that, and also those details, and when everything is linked into your story, into the story of Arctic Giant, you are always reminding us about this, your place. So that is good. Something also why it's so good to have the storyline going there in the marketing, and then continue to customer journey to the service environment. And I think I'm using a bit like a wrong word here when I'm talking about bird cottages. We should maybe talk about bird houses, but what
Close
is
enough.
yeah, close enough. And so what would you tell us about how did you turn your bird houses into a story experience, and what kind of process was that?
Nathalie?
Is
In
there
first place, you are this Anne already said that these are like the birdhouses. They are like too big for the humans.
Birds.
And sorry, birds. Then we have a giants. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yeah, too big for the birds. So that's why it fits for the people. And I think this. You need to imagine that there's like the door when you're entering the cabin. There is a door and there's like a circle window, and you fly into the cabin and you feel like a bird in the nests, and that is like basically what you wanted to feel. You can feel this like all of the nature powers, like a wind, and maybe that feels like the birdhouse for the birds. And now we can see that there's a big window, and we can see this the landscape, like all of this, the storms and the rains and northern lights, the stars, moon, everything.
Yeah, and of course there is then in a cabin there is like this soft, fluffy, like furry blankets out there, and you can be in a cozy place in your own nest, and like just listen that storm or whatever there is outside.
Yeah, but we needed to add like a shower and toilets, and this also the sauna in these cabins. I think the birds doesn't have that. These I think there might be I might be wrong.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we have like all this like these birdhouses. They are named of this like basic birdhouses what we have here. They're named of different hawks what we have in this area. So every cabin has their own hawk name.
Yeah, it's like a hawk side. We have in this area really much of the different kind of hawks, and they are flying over this birdhouse cabins, and that's why there's like a hawk nests, hawk houses.
Yeah, I think the naming is very like something that we are also in many ways forgetting to use, and yeah, naming your in restaurants your foods and what you are serving and your rooms, how you're naming them. That's a very big part of the, and quite like this easy part of to add part of the kind of to add the storification in your doing. And let's see.
Can I add a little bit for
Yes.
other questions? Yeah, I just wanted to say like also like in this like environment what we have like this huge things what we have, like what giants they have forgot these things here. We cannot see the giants, but we can see like the wheelbarrow what is on a front yard, and those kind of things, like giants huge chess what you can play in our area. So those big things they show up here, and then the customers they are part of the story. It's not only in the cabin, just
Yeah.
all this area, all this also like in restaurant. So it's good to have some kind of elements.
Yeah, we are like the top of the hill, and we have our own really big boat here.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
we don't
yes.
have any water here, but this meteliatuli.
Yeah, Meteliatuli, this one of these giants. We have this huge boat is there, and that's a Meteliatulis boat. Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it runs with the river Kongasjoki, that boat, and it hits to the rock, and it like a cracked, like a front. It's cracked, and he just bring it back here, up here, that boat, and maybe he fixed it in some day, but I'm not sure we can find it the boat, but we are not seeing this giant. Maybe someday. We have like plans to hang it somewhere that maybe he could find it, but
Yeah,
let's see.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
waiting.
I think it's a really good example also how the story continues. Like the core story is the base, as you said, and then it's easy to add and create these new stories and what's happening. And I think that's good.
Yeah, and it's
example on
good to.
that.
It's when you have this core story, it gives you like more inspiration to like see the things like through the eyes of a giant, and then like like these new things what we can create here. So it gives you more inspiration for the like.
Yeah, we
business
have
I'm doing.
we have like a safari things. We bought this like a new safari place nearby, and it's like a House of Yatulis. It's the name. It's really close of the lake side, and that Meteliatuli really likes the fish and this like a lakeside nature. So that place, House of Yatulis, this giant Meteliatulis place.
That's good. How do you think that how have your customers responded to Storification? If in shortly you would like, how would you describe that?
They want to hear more.
Yes, yes.
every time. Yeah, they want to hear more. And I'm using this like a safari things with this little bit stories, little bit the true stories. This place, for example, the big men's. Väinö Myllyrinne, 2 meters 53 centimeters was like highest that, and if I remember right, the food size was like 67, 68. It's like that big. Yeah, it's barely. It's like a fits. But with the snowshoes, good to mention that if you see, it's like the same size that Väinö Myllyrinne, that he has a shoe. There might be the footsteps, and if you cannot find, you see this like a pole marks. That might be the Väinö who's moving around. But with this safari things, it's really easy to figure out or create more this story, and it helps much more that you have you have this story, but how you can tell the story, that's the different words, and that's why we have this like a main script for this the whole thing. But
Yeah.
every time they wanted to hear more, maybe you continue that your story you are telling that for us.
So I think the short answer is like, yeah, they ask more, so they are interested.
And they are engaged. I think that's really, and that's what we want our customers to like spend more time with us and want to, maybe stay for longer to really, experience the story. So that's something really good. Let's see, I was looking, if you have questions for Antti and Ida, please feel free to add them to chat, or if you like, you can also let us know so we can, and if you want to, you can, of course, open up your microphone as well and ask your question if you want. I have some questions here. Here still. One of this like maybe at the end. And we can discuss a bit about how is it to work with the story designer, and why do you, Antti and Ida, think that tourism business owners should use story designers and this kind of talent as part of their business, taking their business further?
I think it's always good to have some like a view from who is like outside of this. So it's like someone else who is doing this like a story designing can see in a fresh eyes. And also, like I said earlier, when you are doing that, you are like professional story designer, you also look at the way how it helps this business to grow, like this business and selling and those kind of how it helps. And I think it gives lots of value for the place when there is this story. Can I continue? Do you have idea?
Yeah, and I think it's like you are knowing about the stories and this, that you are not doing the same story at a different place again. So when we are seeing this with our eyes, like Ida said, you have like a fresh eyes, and but you can also see it's like a differently that you are not make like a copy of this different place. And I think that is like a good reason to hire this like a professional story designer.
I think that's, I was actually thinking about, thank you so much to sharing your experience and about Jättiläisen Maa Arctic Giant. What you said earlier as well, Antti, was the kind of how do you differentiate? Like it's you're in the nature, and we have many other places similar to yours, even with similar constructions or the buildings. But already just listening to you, it's the feeling is already different. Now you feel like, okay, I need to, like you said, go through the bird's nest, and then I see the view as the bird would see or the giant would see. But actually, I have a question for Anne. Can any service have a story, or is it sometimes just harder and sometimes easier?
Yes, I think that any service can have a story, and I have worked quite a lot also outside tourism, so with different companies and organizations, and also business-to-business companies have used Storification, and I think it might be a bit more challenging at that business-to-business companies and so on. But in tourism, I think that yes, definitely everyone can have a story, and there are usually these story elements are there, but it's not this kind of systematic awareness around the story. What is the story that we are offering? And it's not taken this far that I think that we should take it nowadays.
And how do you normally get started with when kind of like, so obviously you would have some kind of meeting or session, or like, is it the whole team or just the owner, or who do you normally work with?
It depends a lot about the team, but usually there is this like team of the company owners, and then the marketing and those who are responsible of the product development and so on. It depends on the size of the company a lot. Sometimes it's only the owner who I am working with. So it starts with the story tree workshop. Usually I come to where I come to the place, and then we can get to know the place as well. We go around and we talk, and then we have the Storification workshop and with the team, and Then after that, we have this kind of idea about the story, and then I continue writing the core story, and then we work from there to make the story, to fix the story, what is needed, and then we can start to use the story and see how it works for our customers, and then to take the storification further.
We don't have any questions on the chat, but please, if you have anything you would like to ask, this is a great opportunity. Of course, you can contact Anne and Ida and Antti afterwards as well. But then Ida and Antti, is it just the two of you, or do you have other, like a bigger team looking after the customers or the operations as well?
Yeah, we have just us. Our parents is in the business is like a part time. And they have also like ideas, and our family is like really much of the different ideas for this how we want to growing this more. But okay, right now we have we don't have time to do it, or we have time, we have like too much things, like thoughts and ideas, and like that way that we make.
But everybody's kind of bought in internally as well into the story and supporting it through that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course it's our team, like our family, who is like we are running this, and then we have staff, and also we tell about to our staff that they can be also part of the story when customers they ask waiter they ask something, they can also answer, and they can be also part of the story, and also they can give some ideas if they have some ideas how to do something.
Yeah.
And is the staff getting as excited about the story as the guest?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Because this is like a funny that we have like a big cups and big plates, and it's like a funny thing. You have a not so you doing things like a giant, let's say like that.
So it's bringing more for the guest and more for their whole own team as well, in experience wise.
Yes, yeah.
That's a really, really important thing to add, that how important the story can be when you are looking for right people to join your team and find your staff. So you can, and how to get people like board, to be part of the story. So really important also to get the right stuff.
Yes.
People to work with you and engage them.
It looks like you covered all aspects. We don't have still any questions here. I think it's now last chance. We're running out of time soon. So if anything you would like to ask now, it's a great opportunity. What did you think of the Arctic Giant? Anybody in the audience want to visit there and experience the giant soup and the menu of wild herbs?
Yes, and feel
Or
free.
you're already building your own stories to your own places.
Yes, I was just about to say that if you have your own story, please share on the chat if you have your company story and you want us to get to know it. So please feel free to share. It's always really nice to hear examples. And if you want to find out more examples about the storification, you can go also to my YouTube channel. There are quite a lot of videos in Finnish, but also quite a lot of videos in English with my clients and with other experts that we are talking about storification in different, how it can be used in different ways. And also I have a free storification guide in English at StorySheep.fi. You can find it there. And of course, at Finnish webpage, there is this Finnish storification guide. And of course, my book has been published in Finnish. So, let's see. Do we have some comments? Feel free also comment just freely on the chat.
Yeah, love how you use the story in everyday activities and describing your services and activities, big balls, sleeping in a nest. It all makes you feel very intrigued and cozy. I absolutely agree on that.
Yeah, it's really nice comment, and really, yeah. And that is so important part of the story that we are, when we are creating the core story, one of the things that we need to know is that what are the emotions and feelings that we want our customers to feel. And then we make the story so that it kind of serves those emotions that we want our customers to feel with us. So that sounds so good that we have really succeeded in Arctic Giant story to create this kind of.
Yeah, there was once there was this guest who visited in birdhouse, and like when next day when he came to the reception, he said he was saying, we didn't say that to him, but he was just saying it's just so brilliant, the idea, like when he was standing in the front of the huge window, and he was like, yeah, I look at the world like through the eyes of a giant, and it's just so like brilliant. And that was like he was saying that, and that was that thing what we were like looking for. So it was so great that people, they find out that feeling what we were like, the idea, like, so they found it by themselves. So yeah,
I think that's the best part, when you design something and then the guest actually experiences it exactly the way it was designed. So
yeah, that was what I was
it's a huge
saying.
success. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the customers continue with the story. I think that's one of the also the signs of the good storification, is that customers kind of join in the story, engage with the story, and continue with it themselves and make it even further. That's really, really nice.
On behalf of Hotelovate, I really thank you, first of all, Ida and Antti, for sharing your experiences, and then Anne, of course, for sharing how this whole storification and designing the stories work. As Anne mentioned about those materials, I will also be sending them along with a recording if you wanted to return to this session. And I believe this will be also posted on Anne's channel, so can find it through her website as well. But I thank you so much for your attention today, and then welcome to our next webinars. We'll be posting about them soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everyone, and please feel free to connect if you want help with storification, and if you want to, of course, visit the Arctic Giant.
Yeah, thank you everyone who joined here or who are looking later this thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Antti and Ida, for joining, sharing.
Okay, we can switch off the recording.
Sitten vielä avaitan tuon.